Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. By Hyundai, test drive new Hyundai today, only at your local Hyundai dealer. And by Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. Yankees have taken the field, taking his warm-ups. Ryan Weathers. Take a look at the Marlins starting lineup that they'll send against the Yankee lefty. It's Slater, Ramirez, and Marcy. That's the top of the order. Lopez, Hernandez, and Norby, middle third. And then Xavier Edwards, Leo Jimenez, and Javier Sanoa. They round out the bottom third of the starting nine.
And Ryan Weathers, the big lefty, going to make his debut in pinstripes here in the Bronx. You can see last year a little bit of an injury-shortened season, but was solid when he did pitch. And let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report for Ryan Weathers. Welcome to the Bronx, and they've got him with a two-fastball mix now. A little more sinkers with that four-seamer, and the sweeper is refined.
Slater ready. Weathers is ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch, a strike. We're underway. Home plate umpire is Ron Culpa. Scott Barry at first, Manny Gonzalez at second, and Tom Hanahan is over third. 0-2.
Looks like he's loose. 97, second pitch. Average 96.6 his last start. You're right, Tony. That's a big arm.
Strike three. Slater, I think, thought about challenging, decided not to. Looked a little outside from up here. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Bellinger made that great catch at left. He's in left again. Grisham in center, Judge over right. Infield, McMahon, Caballero, Chisholm, and Rice. Carshield defensive player following foul goes to Bellinger. 13 defensive run saves since 2005. Tied for 7th among American League outfielders. And there's a strike to Ramirez. Out of the way. Flags over the right field grandstand. Look as if they're flapping right in toward home plate. Over the left field grandstand, kind of blowing toward the left. Kind of swirling winds here at the stadium at times. One, two.
So, Coney, he has a split change. How does he get it to go away from right-handers opposed to into right-handers?
Get the seams right, really. Seam orientation. And you can manipulate your thumb a little bit too. You can play around with your thumb on your grip to kind of help. Similar to what they're doing with a kick change. So there's ways to get it going that way. A lot of it is based on seams and release point.
Ronald Culpa, the home plate umpire. Umpire Scouting Report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. More low strikes, more outside strikes on righty batters. Now, he's been challenged 5 times, 4 of them overturned. He's considered pitcher friendly. The crew chief, 28 big league season. Here's Marcy, and there's a strike.
It seemed in Seattle he had some troubles with his sinkers to lefties, locating them, and it's good to see the first one he throws for a strike. Because if he gets ahead, that sweeper's got to be so tough on left-handed hitters.
Well, that's the biggest change that the Yankees have done with him so far, and they'll continue to modify his delivery and his allocation. But yeah, more sinkers than last year, fewer changeups, and a little refinement on that sweeper.
These are the days you don't want to get jammed or hit it off the end of the bat. See this ball run in. Ooh. Kind of set up for that sweeper now. The old Coney sweeper. You had a sweeper before it was popular.
Swing and a miss. Dialed it up to 98.
Well, up and in, down and away, either one. So we'll go up and in. Wells is setting up away here. Weathers fires it up and in, and it works.
Coney, the other thing they've done with David Wells is they've dropped his arm angle from 42 to 33 degrees. When he first came up, it was at 30, and it just kept creeping up and up. How does that change, like, your fastball, your sinker, or your changeup? Because they said they did it for the changeup.
It can affect all your pitches. Certainly from a lower slot, we found that you can actually get a little more induced vertical break with your four-seamer up, too. So I would imagine it will carry over as he gets more and more comfortable with that release point.
Good times between Culpa and Wells. Some smiles. I think a piece of trash grew on the field and they were reading it. One and one on Otto Lopez. Can you believe they wrote this?
Is that a guest receipt? Yes. See what somebody had to eat.
Chicken bucket.
1-2.
Yeah, we could see there is exactly what you're talking about, Joe. Almost had a little cut on it, but it had good action moving down.
Still 1-2.
Classic speed him up, slow him down. The off-speed stuff down, he's out in front. Then you challenge him up and in to speed him up again. See if he goes soft here.
Right field, here comes Judge. It's going to dunk in for base hit. Ramirez will move to third. Lopez picks up a single. First and third, 2 outs.
Well, he did. He threw that changeup, Joe, and he's out in front, but he dunks it in there.
Do you see how it cuts, though? It cuts back towards his barrel. And if it's running away from his barrels, he's probably going to swing and miss. And I know it's something they're working on. When he gets that down, wow, I think the sky's the limit.
Here's Heriberto Hernandez getting the start in left field. So first and third, 1 out. 2 outs here in the first. One and 0. 20th pitch coming up. There's a strike. Fastball clips the inside corner. 1-1. Marlins 5-2 on the year. Yankees 6-1. Oh, nice play by Rice. That saved an E1 and a run.
Wow, that's an incredible play. I mean, the good thing is he didn't get picked off. Sometimes you'll see the first baseman take off, right, because they think they're going home. He understood that he was coming over. Might be a situation where Lopez tries to run here. He had 15 stolen bases, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Well, he's used his 2 throws. Advantage Lopez. There he goes. Drilled into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. It splits the outfielders, and it goes all the way to the wall. Ramirez scores. Lopez scores. Going to third with a 2-run triple is Hernandez. And Miami up 2-0.
Well, Humberto was great in those situations last year where he hit .319. He had 40 RBIs and only 256 at bats. So he was really a clutch player for him. Comes up with a big hit here, a fastball out over the plate. You see Wells is getting ready to throw the second. Lopez is running on the pitch, so it makes it easy for him to score. And now the Marlins have a 2-0 lead, with Hernandez ending up at third base.
An impressive swing on a high fastball, driving it the other way. That's how you hit a high fastball at the top of the zone.
And that brings a trip to the mound by Matt Blake. Blake heads back to the dugout. Marlins have a quick 2 and a runner at third base with 2 outs. And here's Connor Norby. One and 0. Hernandez getting a very big lead at third. McMahon is deep at third. So if a ball gets away from Wells, it doesn't have to go all the way to the backstop. Hernandez might dart home.
And in that situation too, Michael, I think it's Ben Rice's job to pay attention to the runner at third base and let Weathers know, do you need to step off if he's coming home, because he can't see him. And you're not holding him on, so he has a huge lead.
Well, Weathers against his former team. They're making him work 27 pitches so far. Still 2-2.
The Marlins collectively as a team, they're hard to strike out.
They don't strike out. No, you're right.
Searching for that finish pitch, right? The changeup kind of cuts.
I like the sweeper. I don't think he gives it enough credit. I mean, I sit up here and say it looks nasty to me when I'm watching it on TV. I don't think I'd have any chance of hitting it because he can start it way off the plate and end up outside third, and the hitter gives up on it.
For a young pitcher, figuring out what your best secondary pitches are, how I finish hitters, especially right-handed batters as a lefty pitcher.
Soft ground ball charging McMahon over to first, and the pick by Rice, and they get Norby for the final out. Let's see if they challenge. They will not challenge, so the out is made. Well, the Yankees behind 2-0 as they come up to bat in the first inning against Max Meyer, and here's the order. Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge, and Cody Bellinger at the top. Cleaning up first baseman Ben Rice off to a great start. 8 ribbies in 6 games, hitting .409. Giancarlo Stanton's first hitless game yesterday. He'll be the DH batting 5th, batting 6th. Second baseman Jazz Chisholm Jr. In the bottom third of the order, Austin Wells, Jose Caballero, and Ryan McMahon is over at third.
And they're going to face this right-handed pitcher, Max Meyer. You see last year, 12 starts. And a little bit of a mixed bag, but you know, he's always had big potential going back. And you think about 2020, he was the first-round pick for the Marlins, third in the nation. Nowadays, he's pitching off of his slider, and he had left hip surgery last June, and that is our Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Trent Grisham will start it off. Grisham walked 3 times in yesterday's home opener. Takes a pitch inside from Meyer. 27 years old, Meyer, his 4th big league season. And injuries have been a constant in his career. 6 innings into 2022. Needed Tommy John surgery. Came back in 2024. Shoulder bursitis ended the season early. And the last season, David mentioned, ended in June. He needed left hip surgery.
He's only made 26 starts in those 3 or 4 years. I mean, it's got to be frustrating because he's got a great arm, got a great slider, but he can't stay healthy. So I find something interesting about his windup and his stretch. When he starts, he's looking at home plate. He'll peek away for a second and then find the plate again. And I would think that would make it harder to throw strikes.
It's a matter of preference. You know, one of the greatest strike throwers I ever saw was Greg Maddux. He did that. He would look down in the middle of his delivery. A lot of times that if you stare at the target the whole time, it makes you rush to the target. So by looking away for a split second, it helps you stay over the rubber longer. At least that's the theory. Pedro Martinez stared at the target the whole time. Greg Maddux looked down in the middle of his delivery.
There's ball 4, so 3 walks yesterday. He starts off the first inning with a walk, and that brings up Aaron Judge.
See, looking away right there. You just check and make sure you stay back. That's really what that's about for pitchers. Keep from rushing. It's certainly a matter of preference.
Judge with a 2-run home run in the first inning yesterday. 21st inning home runs last year. He has 86 in his career. 0-1. Check out the Marlins defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Hernandez, Marcy, and Slater left, right in the outfield. Sanoa, Lopez, Edwards, and Norby third to first. Ramirez behind the plate. Jimenez the DH, and you can run on Ramirez. 9.4% is his caught stealing percentage. That one's hit to right field. Slater makes the play.
Every ball he hits in the air, everyone thinks it's a home run. It's amazing.
There's Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, the one thing that Meyer will do that a lot of his other starters don't do for the catchers is he'll mix in a slide step. And that keeps a base runner, you know, I got to be careful that I go on the right pitch.
Now, Joe, both Ramirez and Hicks, who caught yesterday, in terms of caught stealing, really bad numbers.
Oh, yeah.
How much is that catcher? How much is that pitcher?
Oh, well, I'm going to blame it all on the pitcher, right? A lot of it can be on the pitcher. Now, I look at Ramirez. Ramirez has got a really good arm, but he's had a slow release, and they say that it's sped up this year. He's 1 for 5 this year. 4 stolen bases he's given up. But a lot of times it has to do with how quick the guy is to home plate to even give you a chance.
A lot of his catching numbers not great. He had 19 pass balls last year. His block above average was -28. That's why they like him as a DH. Chop toward first, fielded there by Norby. He'll step on the bag, and Grisham advances to second. Let's check out the Mohegan Sun team scatter report.
Well, there's a little difference of opinion here. The Miami Marlins throw the second fewest fastballs at only 44%. The Blue Jays are 43. The Yankees are the most. It's 69. Line change. There's 4 guys who were on the bench yesterday or in the game today. Slater, Sanoja, Jimenez, and Hernandez. And I would think the Yankees would have the green light because of what Michael was talking about, 5 for 5. And these Marlins have given up 204 stolen bases since last year, 40 more than any other club.
Ben Rice, home run and a double after striking out the first 3 times in yesterday's game. A lot of players were impressed with that he didn't just bag and say this is a bad day. He said, I wanted that 4th at bat. I want that 5th at bat. I always believe I could turn around my day.
Yeah, that's a great attitude. And obviously, I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. He is a patient hitter that knows the strike zone and just makes a ton of hard contact. And I think that's the good thing about our game. And here's his home run yesterday. He had just hit one foul before, and they tried the same pitch. I'm not really sure why, and it was an unusual, it was a fastball. But he just has the ability to really, really hit the ball hard.
3-0.
And I was saying the good thing about our game is you play every day. So if you have a bad day, you can, get up again the next day. But the bad thing is you don't get to rest on your laurels very long.
Amnesia.
Yeah, you go from hero to GOAT pretty quick.
Count is full. Marlins lead 2-0 on the Hernandez 2-run triple in the top of the first. Runner at second for the Yankees, 2 outs, bottom of the inning. Rice at the plate, full count. Strike 3. Rice down looking. Yankees strand a runner at second. We go to the second. But FanDuel's Daily Dingle for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Plus 360 for Giancarlo. Plus 500 for Ben Rice.
I'm going Ben Rice.
Platoon advantage, right? Lefty against a righty.
Lined into center field. It's a base hit for Xavier Edwards.
He's hit in 8 straight start season, and he scored a run in every game, too. Let's hope he doesn't score here. Fastball off the end of the bat. Perfect. It's their second hit that they haven't made hard contact and gotten on base. Kept the inning going, and this one starts an inning, and he's the threat to steal. However, Weathers has a really good move.
Here's Jimenez. Marlins got him from the Blue Jays on Sunday from minor league infielder Dub Gleed. Love the name Dub Gleed.
Dub? D-U-B?
D-U-B Gleed. G-L-E-E-D. That's going to be a tough play. Really tough. Weathers does the right thing and eats it. Base hit for Jimenez.
Really no chance. I mean, he couldn't have rolled it out there underhanded any better than that right there. Weathers is a lefty. No chance.
Yeah, that actually got under the glove. It was McMahon who probably ate it.
He knows he's got a good chance of being safe. He understands how he hit it. And it's probably a good thing that he didn't field it because he might have thrown it. And that having to spin,
yes,
that's got in the right field corner written all over it.
Well, here's Sanoa. Let's see if he's thinking about bunting. Actually hit 2 home runs against the Yankees last year in that sweep pitch up and away. David, when a guy was trying to bunt against you, did you try to throw something he couldn't bunt, or would you just take the out?
I would try to throw more up and in and try to get him to pop it up. Make it hard to get on the ground.
Rice creeping in at first. Two and 0. Took the bunt off, swings through it.
And Sanoha's another guy that doesn't have a lot of swing and miss, only about 12%, top 3% in baseball. I wonder if they put the bunt back on here. Did you find it sometimes harder to throw strikes when someone squared around? Like, did you ever pick up the hitter more than you would as a guy swinging all the time that you saw? Because Greg Maddux did. He used to hit guys that squared around all the time.
It could be distracting. We don't see it as much in today's game, but
no.
First and second here, nobody out. You can understand the thought process on the Marlins side. The last thing you want to do is get distracted and worried about, you know, a bunt when now you're looking at 3-2 right here.
This could be two. There's one. Not in time. Jimenez thinks he might have been safe at second, but the Marlins say, come on back to the dugout.
Yeah, you see the flip by Jazz. He gets it's a good flip, but I think he could have put a little bit more on it had he moved his feet and got his weight going towards second when he did it, but he caught it on the left side and had to come all the way back across, and it's a close play. Ball's not quite hit hard enough. Caballero does a really good job coming across the bag aggressively. Now you see if you can get a double play here.
There's Austin Slater. He is 0 for 8 at the start of the season. Struck out looking in the first inning, first and third, with one man out. They're making Weathers work.
Yeah, and that's a really hard pitch to block. And I know he's not in the traditional block, but a changeup in your mind from a left-hander is going to go towards the first base side, not the other side. And you're anticipating it going that way, so it's tough.
Two and 0 on Slater. Ramirez is on deck. Marlins up 2-0. We're in the second. About the fastball back, 2-1.
Slater was one of those guys that was outstanding in San Francisco when Gabe Kapler was there, and he went and got him. And 19 through 23, 800 plus OPS against left-handers. Struggled in 24. Was a little better last year, but this is what he's paid to do, similar to Randall Grichuk.
Runner goes, throw to second. Got him. And the runner stays put at third.
Yeah, interesting here that the guy at third didn't even attempt to do anything, and you're running on a guy that's hard to run on. And Wells throws pretty well, and Sanoha, even though he had the big stolen base in WBC, he was only 6 for 11 last year. He's not a burner, and you take yourself out of an inning.
It was an exceptional pop time and throw from Wells, I thought. Watch him get rid of this from one knee.
Yeah, he gets up
Bang,
really
bang.
quickly, yes, and puts a lot on it. Throws it up the line a little bit so you can tag easier, and that could be a big out for Weathers.
Pop time of 1.9 seconds.
So that was ball 4, and now Wells is going to challenge. This would be strike 3. T-Mobile.
Yeah, his average
The
is
ABS challenge.
Oh, excuse me, Michael. His average is 1.97.
And he's wrong.
Pitch is confirmed. New York has 1 challenge left.
By 0.3 of an inch. 26 pitches, 2 outs into the second. Certainly not sustainable. He'll face Ramirez.
It's a big spot here, early in this game for Weathers to leave that runner stranded on third. So when all these pitches, you got to get something tangible and get the Yankees back in the dugout.
1-1. If you're wondering about the Yankee bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Bednar got the day off yesterday, so the high leverage guys, they're available. Cade Winquist waiting to make his major league debut. Tim Hill only threw 2 pitches yesterday, so he's good to go. No one warming at this point.
I'd just like to see him throw his breaking ball a little more. He's struggling throwing strikes with that split change.
Count 3-1. Into center field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Edwards scores. Big turn there by Slater, but he stops at second. Ramirez with an RBI single. It's 3-0 Miami.
Yeah, he has not been hit hard this game. The only ball that was hit hard was by Hernandez, the double into right center, but breaks his bat. You can hear the bat crack, and there's just no way that Trent Grisham can get to that ball, and the inning continues. And I think you're right, Coney. I think they're going to have to get somebody up here because there's a lot of pitches.
A lot of pitches, and that's a bit of a backbreaker there with 2 outs, and now you get 3 runs on the board.
There's Jacob Marcy, and a strike. Yankee starters have been amazing over the first 7 games. It's the first start that a starter has allowed 3 runs or more.
Austin Wells was too late there with the challenge. He got denied. He tried to challenge that last pitch.
Now he does challenge that one.
Calls the ball, the catcher's challenging.
T-Mobile ABS challenge. Yankees could lose another challenges right here if he's wrong. He's not.
This is a strike. New York has 1 challenge left.
I like it. If I'm on the mound, I like my catcher fighting for me there. I'm struggling, trying to get out of this inning.
I'm getting the Booney stare.
Flip the count from 2-1 to 1-2.
Got him with the fastball up and in. Well, I thought he might throw him that sweeper. Let's see what he does here.
Strike 3. Marcy down looking, but the Marlins add a run. They strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Name That Yankee brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 9-7 record, 4.75 ERA, 84 games. This is a 10 with the Yankees from 93 through 96. Then the Marlins, then the Rockies, finished up with the Reds. No clue. Obviously, both of your teammates.
Yes.
Do you guys know?
Yeah, no, yes, no.
Yes, no? Someone tell you, Coney?
No,
No? You researched it?
I don't. Yes, no means I don't know.
Oh.
Yes, he was my teammate. No, I don't know.
You know, one of my favorite moments from last year was when O'Neill didn't know somebody that was his teammate. Then we told him the guy that gave him the answer. He said, I still don't know. Who was that, Bob McDonald? Yeah, he had no idea. Swing and a miss. Chase a pitch way out of the zone, so Stanton down on strikes.
A big sweeping slider.
Yeah, his breaking balls actually get a lot of depth. His slider gets a ton of depth. The sweeper gets a ton of depth.
Jazz Chisholm pops it up. Lopez, 2 outs. That brings up Austin Wells. Austin 3 for 18.
Just make it black. Just make it black.
You know, I would imagine the Yankees knowing the mix of the Marlins and in particular Meyer today and a heavy diet of off speed. You really got to be patient.
So some hitters will sit pitches, right? Figure they're going to get a heavy dose. You're going to get 60% breaking ball on average from the Marlins. The problem with that sitting breaking ball sometimes is you get a heater and you get so mad at yourself that you took a heater. That's that look like that hurt, and what am I doing?
Yeah, he's got a good slider. That's quick. That had some tight spin on it. This is a good pitch. Just eats him up. Coming right at you. Boy, that thing is spinning.
It's chasing left-handed hitters is what it's doing. Good battle for Wells because he fouled off some tough pitches. Threw him that sinker away to go back inside with that breaking ball.
And the pitch. And that's a base hit in front of Slater. 2-out single for Wells.
That's an outstanding at bat. He fouled off a couple tough pitches that were just off the plate. And then he gets this breaking ball that gets too much of the plate, and he's able to hit it. And I think sometimes we talk so much about pitch selection, but I think it's about pitch location more than anything. If you execute pitches, you're going to get people out. And when you don't, hitters take advantage of it.
Yeah. Conviction and quality for me were always first.
Jose Caballero takes a strike. Waved at that one, 0-2. Strangely, Sanoa started that sequence way back at third and then came charging in as if he picked up that he was going to bunt. He didn't, but now he's deep at third with 2 outs.
I think a lot of times fielders, especially third basemen, will try to give you the impression that they're way back and they want you to bunt, and that's eventually the hitter has to pay attention to the pitcher, and you can run in and you're not going to see him. Playing games.
Two and two on Caballero. Yankees have had 2 base runners so far. A walk to Grisham start off the first, and then a 2-out single here by Wells. 2-2 count with 2 outs to Caballero. McMahon on deck. Got a pretty quick move to first base for a right-hander. Stay warm, kiddo.
I think she wants him to run. I think that's the sign, Michael.
Swing and a miss. That'll do it. 3rd strikeout from Meyer. Yankee strand 1. We go to the 3rd. A basketball jersey retired by Belmont University. Sisters Carly and Allie each played college basketball. And Ryan won the Gatorade Player of the Year in baseball. The same year his wife, Thayer, won in volleyball.
How about that?
Yeah. It's an athletic family. Otto Lopez will lead off against Weathers. One and 0.
And Michael, you mentioned his wife, Thayer. She was a volleyball player, big-time volleyball player for the Gators. She is top 10 in school history in kills. As a fellow volleyball player, I appreciate that, Michael.
Now, were you top 10 for your college, Meredith?
I'm sorry, what's that, Michael?
I'm sorry, your ears are cold?
I think it broke up a little bit.
1-1.
But that's where you can get a lot of strikes. To your point earlier about Weathers and his pitch allocation, you can drop that sweeper in for strike early in the counts. Now you go to work. Fastball up and in. Get a feel for that split change. Miss down with it. But if you need strikes other than your fastball, you got to be able to drop that breaking ball in there. Have one you can go to.
Yeah, and I thought Lopez had the big at bat in the first inning where he kept fouling pitches off and hit that blooper to the right. I mean, he's really tough to strike out.
Left field. Bellinger. Now, Meredith, the Yankees have been going with a 4-man rotation. Number 5 is waiting down in the minors. That's Luis Gil. When do they go to 5?
Well, Michael, they have finally made a decision. Luis Gil is going to get the ball for the first time in the majors in the 2026 season on Friday in St. Petersburg when the Yankees take on the Rays for the first of a 3-game series. Of course, the Rays played at GMS all of last year after the roof was ripped off in October of 2024 due to Hurricane Milton. Now they are back at the Trop. So Luis Gil making a start tomorrow for the Rail Riders, and then will rejoin the team, expected to start Friday night in Tampa.
And what's the latest, Meredith, when it comes to Rodon and Cole?
Well, Carlos Rodon and Garrett Cole both through bullpen sessions today. Cole around 3:30 this afternoon. Rodon just after 5. Cole told me his session went well. He's expected to throw a simulated game here at Yankee Stadium on Monday. Rodon was not available to talk immediately after that bullpen, so we should know more in the postgame what the next step will be for him, whether it'll be a controlled environment here at the stadium or if they feel confident enough to send him out on a rehab assignment.
Michael, do you think Meredith will show up Monday and hit? She hit off of you, I remember.
In spring training.
Spring training, yeah.
Yeah, she might. Yeah.
Not successfully, but I tried my best, Joe.
Yeah, well, he neckballed you for one.
First of all, he was basically bouncing it, not even throwing it over the plate. I had a lean for everything.
Now, Meredith, that's just an outright lie. I was throwing strikes. That's just brutal.
Now,
I've never known you to lie.
Joe, you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about. He was not throwing strikes.
He threw one behind you.
Yep.
Well, that was on purpose. Fly ball right field. Judge back on the track at the wall. And he makes the play for the second out. It's good to be 6-7. And as the kids say, 6-7, 6-7.
Did a good job of finding the wall, sticking his hand out, knowing that he had plenty of room, and was able to jump and ends up hitting the fence when he comes down. But just an outstanding catch. And big for David Weathers. He could use an inning where he's not throwing so many pitches, 55 through the first 2.
Norby goes the other way. Long run for Judge, but it makes the seats. Friend forever.
Yeah, the catch again. You're going to see him get a good jump on this ball. He understands when he hits the track, he's got so many steps left, and he had plenty of room. Weathers loves it. I mean, you always appreciate great plays behind you.
Strike 3. Norby down looking, and they're going to challenge.
Pitch is called a strike. The hitter's challenging.
T-Mobile ABS challenge. Call the strike, and it's a ball.
Pitch is a ball. Miami's got 2 challenges left.
Only time will tell how it mentally affects a pitcher to have that taken away. I mean, you have to recalibrate.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to take some getting used to.
Ron Coppo's kind of living up to his reputation. They said he gives a little bit down and away to right-handers, and we've seen a couple overturned so far.
Bit of an old school strike zone. You know, when I compare the strike zone of the 90s to the current strike zone, we used to get more off the plate, thigh high off the plate. There was margins there. That's the old school zone. But if we threw it on the plate at the belt, it was a ball. We didn't get the high strike.
Ground ball and through for a base hit. Past the diving McMahon. So from a strikeout to a single. Just like that, thanks to ABS.
Yeah, it just gets underneath the glove of Ryan McMahon. He lays out for this ball. Norby runs pretty well. He just can't quite get over far enough, and it ends up being a hit. Norby's a guy that has the ability to steal a base. Ryan McMahon did everything he could, and it's just a little short. So which strike zone would you prefer? The one you get a little off?
But the thing is that with veteran umpires, they would give you a little bit margin based on your control. If you hit the target, you got margin. So they rewarded marksmanship.
Now they can't.
They can't now.
Because they're graded so, you know, they're under so much pressure about calling strikes and balls and balls.
Two and one.
You know, obviously there's a different philosophy nowadays too with the increased velocity. We saw the starting pitcher's velocity has gone up by 4 or 5 miles an hour just in the last 15 years. Every year more and more. So the emphasis is not on marksmanship. The emphasis is on high velo. Aim down the middle. Go as hard as you can as long as you can. And if I were pitching in today's game, I'd be chasing velocity too. I'd be just like these guys. I'd be in the lab. I'd be looking at biomechanics. I'd be taking advantage of everything.
You'd be driving me crazy behind home plate.
Yes, I would.
And that's ball 4. So first and second, 2 outs. And again, his pitch count uncomfortably high in the third inning, 76 with 2 outs.
Yeah, he has not had an easy inning, and at some point, I really think that he's getting near the end. Somebody's going to get up. Yeah, we take a look at the strike zone. So, Coney, you were saying that the plate was a little wider than 17 inches.
That's where you went off the plate. The inside corner, you had to get it on the plate, generally. The outside corner, they give you some margin. Thigh high off the plate, you got called. If you threw it right down the middle at the mask, a little above the belt, you never got that pitch called.
They also changed where it used to be the front of the plate is where they called the pitch. Now they've moved it back to the middle.
Paul Blackburn starting to get ready. So 8 extra pitches after what he thought was strike 3. Foul back by Jimenez.
I don't know how it doesn't affect the pitcher, because you got to say, okay, I'm going in, and then no, you know, you kind of let your guard down.
Yeah, emotionally, you're so invested in the game as a starting pitcher. You get once a week to pitch, and yes, there is a letdown.
1-1. One-two on Jimenez. Norby at second, Edwards at first, 2 men out. Top of the third, 3-0 Miami. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Caballero makes the play, and that'll do it. No runs a hit. 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the third. Hey, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is from Sarah, who was here at the stadium for her first ever opening day yesterday. Most people at the ballpark yesterday, over 48,000. They all had a good time. I'm sure Sarah did as well. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Ryan McMahon will lead it off. Now, McMahon is 1 for 17, and he struggled. And Meredith, you caught up with the hitting coach, James Rowson, today.
And Michael, James Rowson told me he is not anywhere close to hitting the panic button yet when it comes to Ryan McMahon, telling me he has such faith in Ryan that he is going to be fine this season. He said the work he is putting in and where that work is leading makes him think that he is going to be getting the results soon. He's been very happy with the things that we don't see on the field, behind the scenes, in the cage, and where he's at. Yesterday, he looked a little bit better in the batter's box, took some better swings, and as Rowson put it, he felt like he was much better timing out the fastball.
And he reaches on that ground ball.
As he picks up a base hit right there. But yeah, he does have the confidence in Ryan McMahon and that he's going to get things going. We talked a lot about the stance and how he changed that this spring, still adjusting to that, but they believe there is a lot in there offensively. He's not a guy, not just a guy that is good defensively. They believe there's a lot more for Ryan McMahon to achieve offensively, obviously.
Runner on first base. And they give him an error. They give an error to the shortstop, Lopez. So no hit from McMahon.
Those are the kind of hits, too, sometimes he can get you going. You're like, come on, scorekeeper, get me going.
So his bunt takes low. down 2-1. Grisham walked in the first. Judge on deck.
Pitch was the ball to count. Judge's challenge.
And a challenge by Ramirez. It was called the ball. T-Mobile ABS challenge. Wow.
Overturned to a strike. Miami has 2 challenges left.
That's a big challenge. 3-1. Run it, you know. Grisham's already walked 4 times in this series. You walk him, you got Judge up. I mean, that's a big challenge.
And the catcher's the one who knows, because he was set up on the inside corner and had to move all the way over to catch it. Umpires never call that, rarely call that pitch.
So I'm curious to see where they're going here, because I think that was a called throw over, and Ramirez set up away. And was he trying to get the hitter to peek a little bit? Is he going to go back in?
How about this difference? After a 3-1 count last year in the majors, on-base percentage is .591. After 2-2, it drops to .286.
Yeah.
So that's a huge challenge. Now it's 3-2. And there's ball 4. So he gets his walk. Second walk of the night. He had 3 walks yesterday. So getting on base at a great clip. And first and second, nobody out. That brings up Judge. McMahon at second, Grisham's at first. Nobody out. And a strike to Judge. Fly ball to right field in the first inning for Judge. Oh, 0-2.
Looked a little low. Yeah, it would have been down.
Center field, Marcy on the run, going back, reaches up to make the play, tagging. McMahon will go to third. So Judge gave it a ride, run down by the center fielder Marcy. Let's check out the pitching decisions presented by Sage.
He's got a good slider. We talked about him pitching off of his slider. He does. Little sinker that was low, got the call. And that's just a rocket. Almost 112 miles an hour. He just hit it on a line. A little more launch, and that ball's in Monument Park.
Here's Bellinger, first and third, 1 out. One and 0. Two and 0 on Bellinger, grounded out to first in the first. Marlins playing back, looking for the double play. Only one that's in is Sanoa, and obviously Norby is holding on Grisham at first. Now Sano backs up at third.
It looked like he was just taken all the way there.
I mean, he pitches off of his slider. The Marlins don't throw a lot of fastballs. So it's almost in an effort to be unpredictable on their part, they become more predictable. Like you can almost book a slider in off-speed in fastball counts.
And that time he goes with the fastball, misses way inside. That loads the bases for the Yankees, and Ben Rice comes up.
Joe Torre used to talk about the mystery. The pitcher has a little mystery because he becomes unpredictable. Well, the more off speed you throw and away from your fastball, the more predictable you do become, in my mind. Now, as a hitter, do you go up there and sit on sliders? Can you hit him? Because he's got a good one. But you can book every 2-1 count, every 3-1 count. It's going to be off speed. So that, to me, becomes a little more predictable. And if you use your fastball just enough, you can retain that mystery a little bit more, in my mind.
Center field and right field, you don't run on them, and you go with caution on Hernandez.
What does yellow mean?
Caution.
Caution.
Do you not follow street
Slow
signs?
down. I was trying to do a taxi joke.
Go slower.
Yes. What does yellow light mean? Slow down.
The other thing about Slater will attack the ball really, really well. He's already got 1 assist this year in the outfield. So it's one thing to have a good arm, but a guy that attacks the ball well and has a good arm, they're usually the people that throw a lot of guys out.
He goes around, according to Hanahan.
I thought he had an excellent game last night behind home plate. This is that slider down and in. It's really tempting to those left-handed hitters, that ball down and in. It just, I mean, it was over the plate. It just went below the zone.
Yankees really making the Marlins work. Yankees had 11 walks yesterday. The Marlins, in the first 6 games of the season, issued only 9 walks. Yankees have 3 walks so far in this one. Big cut. 2-2.
He had one thing in mind right there.
Yeah. It's just an excellent pitch. It's just below the zone. I think he would be foolish to throw a sweeper. I'd throw that slider again.
Swing and a miss. That's what he did. 2 away.
Well, it's his best pitch, and he throws a lot of them. And that's a great finish pitch to a left-handed batter, especially one that you know is looking to launch.
3rd most finishes last year with his slider. Carlos Rodon was first with like 35.8. He was 35.1. He loves that slider.
1-0 on Stanton, who struck out in the second. Kind of waved at a pitch way off the outside corner. You know, one thing that Boone brought up about Stanton yesterday, he said, you look at him and you just think he's just pure power. He said he's a cerebral player, studies everything.
The other thing about always throwing those breaking balls, getting behind, is a pitcher, I think you become much more careful with your fastball. When you guys enter a 2-0 count, 3-1 count, you almost feel like you have to make a perfect pitch, and that's when you throw another ball.
Three and 1.
A 3-0 slider right there. Probably going to get another one here. Make sure it's a strike.
Easier said than done, though, when it has that downward break.
High pop-up. Ramirez waiting for it to come down, and he makes the play for the final out. So the Yankees leave the bases loaded in the 3rd. We'll go to the 4th. It's 3-0 Marlins. Well, score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Yankees, the official source for your Yankees gear. Cadillac scoreboard 3-0. Miami. Blackburn still warming, so in all likelihood, weather's not in for very long. Oh, and 1. And a push bunt goes foul. Wells was trying to get to it, but a kick foul.
So a lot of times off a left-handed pitcher's a right-handed right-handed hitter, the second baseman will play way up the middle. And I used to get so nervous about guys that push bunt. Like, are you going to be able to get over to first? Because I know the pitcher's not getting over because he's left-handed.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Sanoa.
Got that splitter down. But even still, it's got a little cut on it, right?
Yeah.
A little left to right movement. That one had good depth, though.
And maybe as he gets more tired, it has more depth.
Oh, and 1 on Slater. Congratulations that you were just watching UConn beat Illinois 71-62, and the Huskies and Danny Hurley are in the final game again. Amazing. What a run.
And they had a lot of problems at the end of the year. It is amazing.
Came back from 19 down to beat Duke to get into the Final Four. That one is ripped into left field. Right there, Bellinger. 2 away. And that will do it for Weathers as Boone comes out, and we'll take Weathers with him. Signals for Blackburn. Weathers leaves trailing 3-0.
Of Name That Yankee, and when you look there, it's 9-7, 4.75 ERA, 84 games. He was a teammate of ours.
Mark Hutton.
Wow.
He was traded for Weathers.
Yes.
Yeah.
For David Weathers.
Yeah. From Australia.
Sluggo catching there, Mike Stanley.
That's Leyritson right.
I did catch him. I approve.
Sinker slider.
Ramirez swings and misses. Blackburn gave up the walk-off hit to Cal Raleigh, and the Yankees' only loss of the season. So his second appearance. Adelaide, Australia, first Australian starting pitcher in Major League history, part of the 1996 championship with the Yankees, traded to the Marlins on July 31st of 96. So he didn't pitch in the World Series, but he's on that team, got a ring. Slow roller. McMahon, and the throw will pull Rice off the bag, so a base hit for Ramirez.
There's some smart hitters on the Marlins today. That's their 7th hit. I think there's one over 95 miles per hour. One hard hit. That's it.
The only chance is a bare hand here.
Yes.
Man's got to try to bare hand this. That's his only chance.
Think about it, you say Ramirez, catcher doesn't run well. He runs pretty well.
He's dancing off first there.
Oh boy.
And that got the home plate umpire, Ronald Culpa.
Probably lucky that it tipped off of Wells' glove, take a little bit of that velocity off the mask, but he got hit square right here. Ooh. So you want to be an umpire?
Wow.
Michael, how would you have been with those?
Well, I'd have gone down. And the man's knees just buckled there. So 5 of the 7 hits that the Marlins have been 80 miles per hour or slower exit velocity.
Smart hitting.
That's what Weathers is thinking about now.
Like, really?
And that's another looper that dunks in for base hit. Ramirez is going to third. Who's covering third? No one. And it goes all the way to the backstop. And here comes Ramirez. He'll score. And moving all the way to third is Marcy, and it's 4-0 Miami.
Yeah, I'm not sure why McMahon. I mean, he's way over at short. He goes after the ball, and there has to be communication where one of them doesn't go after. It goes right to third. And then Cody tries to throw it to a guy that's on the run, and it gets past McMahon.
Yeah, Blackburn's got to be backing up under there. You got to get some depth. You got to get over there. He's too close.
I think the only reason that was he didn't think that McMahon was going to get there, and he was covering third, and there was nobody backing him up.
Yeah, Culpa looks like he's having issues. Wells called out the trainer, and you appreciate his toughness, but if he's not feeling good, you got to make a move.
Your job is to get over there now. You see it. Get over there, back up, get some depth. Okay, if you're going to cover third, then get there. But you get caught in between. If you see McMahon coming to the back, then you got to get some depth. But in his defense, you're right. He was caught in between, Michael. So it's a great point on you to pick that up.
Looks like we're going to make a change here. As you see the other umpire running inside to get his gear on to start calling balls and strikes. So Ron Culpa looks like his day is over.
Well, you mentioned, Joe, he really got hit hard.
Yeah.
It was flush. This is when he got hit.
Yeah, and as a catcher, you know exactly. You hear that thud, and you turn right around, and he's holding him up there. And Wells is talking to him here after that last base hit and calls out the trainers from the Yankees to come take a look at him. And I think they're encouraging. It's time to get out of the game. Yeah, that's it.
The days of taking any chances with concussions are over.
So he'll get some medical attention. We'll come back in just a moment. It's 4-0 Marlins. Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by the New York Lottery. This could be your lucky play. A little bit of a delay here. Ryan McMahon will scarf down a banana as they get a new home plate umpire with his equipment on after Ronald Culpa got hit with a Marcy foul tip. Right back to the mask.
Scott Berry went in, right? Scott Berry.
I think it's going to be Scott Barry.
Yeah.
Kind kind of an odd game. The Yankees are losing 4-0. It's the fourth inning, but you can't exactly say that they've been, batted around. It's just Marlins have been aggressive, and they found the hole and little dunkers here and there, and they're down 4-0.
Yeah, they're a high-contact team. Joe sort of gave us that scouting report. They're hard to whiff, and they put the ball in play.
Now, we just saw a play at third base where, Bellinger gets charged with an error. And he really didn't do anything wrong. He threw the ball at third base, and there was really nobody covering third base. It was between the two guys that were fighting for it.
Yeah, he was hitting a moving target, right?
Yeah.
The quarterback almost. It was a little behind, but everybody was caught in between, including Blackburn, who's trying to get over there. Do I cover the bag? Do I back up?
Those are the plays that are really difficult because of somewhat of a shift, and they both go after it, and they have to hustle to get back. And Jazz wouldn't have time to get over there as the second baseman, trying to hit a guy on the run, and you make an errant throw. And as catchers, sometimes, when the third baseman's way off and you throw to third, you try to hit him on the run, you always throw it on the out, the second base side. And it's just really hard to do. And it's hard to tell yourself not to throw it to the guy in the run instead of throwing to the bag.
I give Ramirez a lot of credit. He saw this right away, and he took off.
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good base runner. And the Marlins run the bases well, and they're aggressive. And they understand they have to do that because they don't hit home runs. And this is how they score.
He made a quick read right here. He saw McMahon's out of position, or they were caught in between. He never hesitated.
And if the throw is caught, he's out.
Yeah.
He took a chance, and he would have been out. But McMahon couldn't get the throw, and neither could Blackburn.
Here's right here. Reads it. He knows. He's gone. He never hesitated.
So 2 quick outs by Weathers. They bring in Blackburn, an infield single, and then a single left in an E7, and a run scores. It's been that sort of night for the Yankees, where this is a season, early season, where everything has gone well. And tonight, not everything has gone well.
Yeah, the defense has been out there a long time tonight. We talked about that yesterday with the Marlins, how long they were out on the field compared to the Yankees. Well, they flipped the script, and a lot of times defenses don't play as sharp when you're out there a long time. Kaiser, Michael, they're running into the heated bullpen.
Yep. Now, we just saw Rodon in the dugout. We'll take a look at the injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Rodon threw off the mound today. Next step could be a rehab assignment. Now, he's coming back from the surgery on the elbow, and also he experienced right hamstring tightness earlier this week when he was in Tampa, but he said that he's feeling better, and the fact that they let him throw off the mound, they're very, very careful with this. There's no need to rush anybody. The Yankees certainly have a full array of pitchers, and this is earlier today when he's throwing off the mound in the bullpen. Now, the timetable is that we kept hearing that Rodon could be back by the end of April, and Garrett Cole could be back at the end of May. But, one telling sign, they did not put Cole on the 60, which they could have to clear another spot on the 40. They kept him on the 15-day, so there is a possibility he could come in or come back a little bit earlier. So Scott Barry has put on the home plate umpire gear. Also showing some toughness, David, that no sleeves here. So now the umpires on the bases, they'll communicate between each other where to line up. Scott Barry, hitter friendly. He's only had 2 calls challenged. 1 was overturned. Fewer low strikes, fewer inside strikes. 20th major league season.
Boy, complete opposite. We had all the way to the left, pitcher friendly before.
Yeah.
Now we're almost going all the way to the right.
Flip the script.
Isn't it a little strange that they have him be the home plate umpire? Because when you're the first base umpire, you're the home plate umpire tomorrow. Maybe they'll bring in somebody else.
Yeah, that's possible.
Ron Coppola will go on the IL.
Right.
And they'll bring somebody else in, and maybe that guy they bring in will actually do the game tomorrow. It'll be Manny Gonzalez, and then
right.
Yeah.
All right, so the outfielders coming back from the enclosed bullpen. If you've ever been back there, by the way, they have all the Yankee relief pitchers have signed the wall. And the name that just jumps out as the most beautiful signature you'll ever see is Mariano Rivera. It's like a work of art. And there it is, the one on the right there.
Well, I don't know if you've ever sat and watched him autograph like baseball.
It takes a long time.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Twice as much as the normal person signing an autograph.
And then you see some guys that just scribble it and you can't even read it.
The guy to the left of us announcing for the Marlins, Nelson, that's a scribble.
Jeff Nelson.
Oh, Lord.
David, you have a really nice signature.
It's legible. Yeah, you can at least read it.
So is yours, Joe.
Very legible.
All right, so they give Blackburn some time to warm up. So 3 umpires the rest of the way. We are in the top of the 4th inning. It's 4-0 Marlins. Runner at third base and 2 outs. And that'll bring up Otto Lopez. Marcy's at third. And we are about ready to resume. And a strike.
Lopez led their team in RBIs last year with 77. Very good in these situations, hitting over 300. And you see that a lot from the Marlins hitters. Not huge home run numbers. But they were good in these spots.
You know, when you go back to June 13th of last year, Joe, this team has 59 wins. That's the 5th most in Major League Baseball, 3rd most in the National League. So they played a lot better ball after a real bad start last year.
And to your point there, Michael, they were 16 games under, and they got back to 500. I mean, that's not easy to do. Usually a team that's far, 16 is going the wrong way, and they got back to 500. Ended up 79 and 83, I believe.
1-2, swing and a miss. Lopez down on strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 man left. 3.5, 4-0 Miami. Well, tomorrow afternoon on Yes, the Yankees and Marlins wrap up this 3-game set here at the stadium. Coverage begins with the FanDuel Yankees pregame at 1. Then first pitch will be shortly after 1:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Max Fried's going to get the start. He is not allowed a run in his first 2 outings, and he'll oppose Chris Paddock. Again, coverage begins at 1, game time at 1:35. So long time on the bench for Max Meyer. Let's see how that affects him. He starts off Jazz Chisholm with a strike. And a bunt. Ramirez gets Chisholm. Austin Wells comes to the plate. We take a look at his pop time on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Yeah, you're going to see him get out of his stance really quickly and make a good throw to Jazz Chisholm. 1.90, and you're going to get most base runners if the pitcher gives you a chance, and that's exactly what he did there.
Accurate throw as well.
He's got arm strength, too. You know, he did that his last at bat. He chased that sweeper in, and then he got the slider out over the plate, and he was able to get a base hit. So, sweeper obviously is very deceptive.
Discussion between Barry and Wells.
I think he got something like a speck of dust in his eyes is what happened. Very windy out there and swirling.
2-2 on Wells.
You know, Michael, you talked about Ramirez's defense. The 19 pass balls, which was the worst, 9 more than the next guy. The blocks above average, -28, 13 more than the next guy. They said, though, they've seen an improvement, and those were 2 pretty good blocks.
Right to Edwards. 2-away. Well, we talked about it yesterday. They're calling all the pitches from the dugout, and they think that frees both catchers up to maybe throw better and receive better and frame better, where they don't have to think about, oh, what's the next pitch going to be. And also frees them up hitting-wise, too.
Sanoja just did the same thing on Caballero. He started back and then sprinted in like you talked about the first time he was hitting.
Keeps doing the same thing. He drops the ball and he's challenging the ball call. T-Mobile ABS challenge. He's right again. He's having some night and just barely by a lace.
Miami retains their challenges.
Yeah, it's to drop the glove and bring it up. So when you're catching it, you're bringing it up instead of pushing it down, thinking that it's a better appearance for the home plate umpire. He's thrown 4 pitches this at bat. It's a 2-2 count, and he's caught 1 of them. And there has not been a foul ball.
Marlins with 8 hits. The Yankees just won the 2-out single by Wells in the second. And Caballero down on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Meyer and the Marlins. We go to the 5th. Time for the Optimum Fiver famously fast replay.
Well, in the first inning, Humberto Hernandez gets on top of this high 4-seamer from Weathers and hits a triple and puts the Marlins up 2-0. And a good RBI guy for them the last couple of years.
And Hernandez leads off. Left fielder, number 5 hitter in the Marlins order. Four, 8-1 Miami. 0-1-1 for the Yanks. Blackburn on a relief of Weathers.
Started some games in spring training and they got him built up to about 65 pitches, but I think it's been probably about 3 weeks since he's been that high. So you would think that he could probably give you 45 or 50 in your mind if you're trying to manage this game if the Yankees don't come back.
Three and 2 on Heriberto Hernandez. Swing and a miss. Got him.
A pretty good little cutter right here, coming right in your living room at 89 miles an hour. A little bit of side to side, a little bit of downward tilt to it. Kind of like a really hard slider. I'm going to classify that as a cutter, but it was a dandy. Perfectly located.
Who's in charge of classifying?
Statcast, Major League Baseball. Yeah. factoring in spin and break, horizontal, vertical movement. We're trying to get pitches, all their pitches defined in certain buckets so you can compare them to other pitchers with similar movement. And then you have a baseline that you could say which one's above average or below average in terms of movement profile.
Caballero in the dirt, and a scoop by Rice.
Save your infielder some errors by making this good scoop. He probably had time to get a little bit more behind it. He did a really good job on the backhand, and he ends up bouncing it over. And that's the tough one, that in-between hop. As a fielder, you always want the long hop or the short hop, and you see Blackburn appreciates it.
And a snow cone.
Yeah. Hey, those count too, Coney. It'd be easy to have a snow cone tonight.
On one on Xavier Edwards. How about this? First 1-2-3 inning for a Yankee pitcher. Marlins go down in order. We're halfway through. Airline of the New York Yankees. Delta keep climbing. Out of the scoreboard, 4-0. Marlins over the Yanks. Middle game of this 3-game set. Yankees won the home opener 8-2 yesterday. Ryan McMahon will lead off against Max Meyer. One and 0. McMahon rates on an E6. That was in the third. Andrew Nardi is up.
You can see McMahon challenge.
The call is ball. Catcher is challenging.
T-Mobile ABS challenge. Ramirez is on fire.
Call is a strike. Miami has 2 challenges remaining.
He must have X-ray vision. I mean, none of them have been egregious. I mean, they've all been like that.
Yep.
But you can see McMahon trying to sit on that backside more, letting the ball get to him. And at times in spring training, he drove the ball really well to left field, trying to get him to probably stay inside the ball a little bit more and not to roll over.
Well, Boone said today that he did not like some of the swings in Seattle, but he felt the swings were better yesterday. And that's tipped into the glove of Ramirez. One away here in the 5th.
Well, this is his best pitch. And he's thrown it very well tonight, especially the lefties right there underneath their hands. It's been hard for the Yankee left-handed batters to lay off of that.
Back at the top of the order, and Trent Grisham, who's walked twice. Two away. So here's Judge, hit one to right in the first, and then drove one deep just to the right of dead center field, and was run down by Marcy.
I feel like he's getting close. starting to see the ball in the air a lot more.
And a strike.
And I've always thought what's really important for Aaron is when he starts a little bit open to make sure that he gets even. His toes on his both feet are even in the box. And when he does that, I think he stays in there and he's extremely dangerous.
He had an absolute rocket in his last at bat to center field. Just didn't get elevated enough.
2-1 on Judge.
I always liked when he did that. Take the swing after he fouls the ball off. Reminding himself of something, probably to stay through the ball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-2. Now the new rule with the third base coach is you can back up as much as you want. You just can't back up toward the outfield. So there are a lot of base coaches that are very nervous with guys like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton at the plate. Up the middle, a base hit.
Good at bat to stay on that slider. Hit the ball hard twice tonight. Got the ball in the air twice tonight. I mean, this is in the outfield, 106 off the bat before you can blink an eye. I mean, bam, that is centered up. Probably lucky he didn't get a little air under that one too.
Yep, square business.
Judge had a stolen base yesterday. Yankees had 5 as a team. Now, for those not familiar with the rule, there are new rules with the base coaches. They can't back up because they feel that that's how you could steal grips and pitches from the pitcher. A lot of teams complained, so they have to be right on that back line, and they could back up toward the dugout, but not back up toward the outfield wall. So essentially, you're 90 feet away from the batter. And Dave McKay, longtime first base coach now with the Diamondbacks, said somebody's going to get really hurt. One. High drive. Right field. Slater back. Track. Wall. See ya. A 2-run home run from Bellinger. Yankees on the board. They've cut the lead in half. It's 4-2.
Two quick outs, a base hit, and then a home run, and you're right back in this game. As Cody Bellinger had so much success at this ballpark last year. Getting some high fives from everyone. I mean, it's 4-2, and that could be it. I mean, you see this little spinner, David. That slider didn't have the break that all the other sliders have had. Cody took advantage of this ball that's waist high and pulls it into the right field bleachers. Outstanding swing.
Clayton McCullough takes the ball from Meyer, calls on Andrew Nardi, the left-hander. Yankees down 4-2. Well, fans, remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get access to the Gotham Sports app for free. Download and sign in now to check out all the great Yankees content, including game highlights, post-game sound, and Cam Schlittler showing off his social media feed on the latest episode of The Grid. So here is Andrew Nardi against Ben Rice. Judge happy about the Bellinger home run. Two 2-0. Yankees were 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts against the Meyer slider, and then Judge had the single, and then Bellinger with the home run off that pitch. Three 3-0 on Rice, and Stanton's on deck. See if they green light Rice. Now he takes it. First strike, 3-1.
Coney, if you're a betting man, breaking ball or heater here?
Breaking ball.
Yeah. And you got 96 right there. Spot one down and away.
And Rice is challenging that.
Call a strike. The batter's challenging.
So it's called the strike, the ABS T-Mobile challenge. And it is a strike.
Calls a strike. New York has no more challenges.
Now he should take a little bit of a timeout here to get his head back together and say, let me get back into this and back. Because they've had it happen the last couple days like that.
And there's ball 4. So now the lefty has to face the righty Stanton. Bottom of the 5th inning, it's 4-2 Marlins. Yankee offense finally coming alive here in the 5th. 2-out single by Judge, 2-out, 2-run home run by Bellinger, and now a walk to Rice. That brings up Stanton as the tying run. One and 0.
I thought we were getting something there. Either a challenge or ask the guy at first. You think he swung?
Ben Rice 1 for 3 on ABS challenges this season. I got a question for you, Joe. If a guy checks a swing and you're the catcher and you think it might have been a strike and it's called a ball, do you check for the swing or do you ABS it right away?
You ABS it first, I believe. I think you have to ABS it first.
And then you could point. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you point to first, it's too late to ABS it.
Correct.
There's ball 4. So Stanton walks on 4 pitches, and Nardi has come on and walked 2 in a row, and now has to face Chisholm. And Moskos, the pitching coach, comes out to talk with Nardi. Conference is over. Chisholm is 0 for 2, popped to second, and tried to get on with the bunt, but was thrown out by Ramirez. That was in the 4th. Against his former team.
Do you think he's got a breaking ball bender?
Bender. Yes. Perfect name for one.
I mean, I think you could call their whole staff Bender.
Tying runs on base. One and 0. One. Austin Rawls on deck.
The professional's ready to hit. That's what he does. Anticipates a situation that he might get called on, and he's ready.
Yankees have 3 righties on the bench, and then the backup catcher, Escala. And he waved at that 2-strike pitch, and he goes down on strikes. But the Yankees have the lead. The 2-run home run by Bellinger, and it's 4-2 Marlins after 5. Well, thank you, Bob. We go to the 6th inning. It's 4-2 Marlins. Jimenez leads off against Blackburn. Pitches high, 1-0. 4-8-1 for Miami, 2-3-1 for the Yanks. Both starting pitchers are out, Weathers and Meyer. Ground ball up the middle and knocked down by Caballero. Gets up, fires it past Rice. And luckily it bangs right back to Rice. Jimenez did not make a turn, so he's okay. Ran straight through the bag.
Good effort by Caballero. It looks like when he dove, he took the wind out of himself. Ground is probably pretty hard right now at this time. He just overdove a little bit.
Landed on the ball.
Yeah, that has to hurt. Cold night like this. Ow. See him saying hit the ball.
And a strike to Sanoa. Tim Hill getting ready. Got the Bazooka Joe look. Looped into center field, and the catch is made by Grisham. Go around the majors. Connor Griffin, what a debut for him. RBI double in his first career at bat. #1 prospect in baseball. Just signed a big long-term contract with the Pirates. Just 19 years old. Alejandro Kirk fractured his left thumb on a foul tip yesterday and chased a lauder. What a start for him. 5 home runs in the first 7 career games. He actually made his debut in the playoffs last year, but now getting a real run for the Guardians. 1 on, 1 out. That's going to do it for Blackburn. With Slater coming up, they are going to go to Tim Hill. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Ford stores. Ford is proud to be the official SUV of the Yankees. And by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Now, before Boone made the move to Hill, McCullough had made the move to pinch hit Conine for Slater. That's when Boone countered with the lefty Hill. So he gets the matchup he wants, and Conine stays in. So lefty on left. Jimenez at first, held there by Rice. Ground ball. Chisholm gets the out at first. Moving to second is Jimenez. Sounded like a broken bat.
I believe you're right, Michael. Tim Hill does what Tim Hill does. Throws a moving strike. Fills up the zone. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Cruz is ready. Runner at second base, 2 down. And here is Ramirez. He's walked and he's picked up 2 singles and scored twice. 1-0. Hill has a fearlessness about him. He just throws the ball over the plate. He thinks it moves enough, and it does, and he gets big outs.
Well, his release point, too, serves him well with the movement he gets, but also the window.
I also think he understands that he's not going to get a ton of swing and miss, and it's just the quality of the pitch I make, and they're going to hit a ground ball, and we hope it goes to a fielder.
About 3 feet off the ground when he releases the ball.
Ramirez has done a pretty good job so far in this at bat, getting 2 balls in the air. Now they've both been foul, but he gets so many balls on the ground.
You know, the other thing about Tim Hill is right here, as you see, he's coming down, and right when he releases the ball, you can see, boy, that's where it's a little under 3 feet off the ground. The way he finishes up, it's hard to throw that low and get it at 90 miles an hour or so.
How about the leg kick at the finish? You got, I mean, that's a gunslinger.
Little leg whip, yes. I mean, there's a looseness to him. You know, they're very free and easy. The way he walks, very limber. Got a left-handed pitcher written all over him.
Someone that Paul O'Neill would probably love to face.
You believe me, I threw a lot of pitches sidearm, and not quite as low as he does, but it's hard to throw 90, 91 miles an hour from that window. It makes it even tougher to pick up.
Up the middle and grabbed there by Chisholm. And he'll get Ramirez to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors. One man left on base. Hill comes right at you, and the ball comes right back at him. Brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Paul Goldschmidt pinch hitting now for Austin Wells. And is he going to hit a home run or more? It's plus 800 if you think so. Montefiore Einstein, bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Marlins lead. So Goldschmidt pinch hitting for Wells. Escara will come in behind the plate. So Boone figures this is the time he could get Goldschmidt up because he's got Norty in. If he waited to pinch hit for McMahon, they've got a righty up in the bullpen.
You always try to guarantee the matchup you want, and that was the only way if he hit here, as Michael was saying, because he's already faced 2 hitters. He has to face 1 more because he went back out.
And you want to get Goldschmidt some at bats.
Yeah, you got to keep him going because they're facing another right-hander tomorrow. Monday's a day off.
One and two.
You know, in 1996, we had Darryl Strawberry off the bench and Tim Raines off the bench. And this is the first time in a while I think the Yankees feel like they've got that kind of veteran presence on their bench. It can really pay off for them. Goldschmidt already that big 3-run home run on the road trip.
In a chat, and he said no, he did not go.
He's dressed for winter. Manny Gonzalez at first base. Stocking cap on. Big coat on. Should have a scarf. MLB umpire scarf.
3-2 on Goldschmidt, pinch hitting for Wells. Norty deals. Rip foul. Caballero's on deck. 4 runs on 9 hits for Miami. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Yanks. Nardi deals. Ball 4. So a pinch hit walk for Goldschmidt.
Just gives you such good at-bats against left-handers. Got behind in the count and ended up walking there. McCullough's having him stall a little bit. Get the right-hander up. Bender's in.
And he's going to signal for Bender. That'll do it for Nardi. Nardi came on and has walked 3 batters and struck out 1. So Caballero will come up as the tying run. Bender comes in. Bender against Caballero when we get back. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Some of the players that have modeled both uniforms. Ichiro in his Hall of Fame speech said, "I didn't even know the Marlins existed, so I got traded there." Anthony Bender takes over. And he'll face Caballero. It is amazing. Every at bat, Sanoa has started deep at third and runs in furiously. If Caballero hits a hard ground ball, Sanoa's going to get hurt.
Michael, you don't think he's just trying to stay warm, do you?
Oh, we'd be doing that up here then.
He loves that sweeper, but Michael, to your point, if he was to throw him a sinker down and in, it might happen.
Joe, last year, batters were 8 for 86 against the sweep.
Oh, it's really good. That low arm angle you're talking about, he's got a real low arm, and he's got a really good sinker that he'll talk about low. He hits 98.
.31 old, 4th big league season. 2.16 ERA in 50 innings last year, but shin splints ended his season in August. He gets hit. Wow. Caballero takes first and second now.
And you hope it got some of that pad, because that's 97, and that ball spinning and just chasing you. Did it get the pad? It looked like it did.
Have, yeah.
That's really a good job.
The 7 too.
Like Caballero to get that bicep out of the way and the shoulder out of the way.
So here's McMahon. He's 0 for 2.
Marlins are anticipating a bunt at third base.
And he takes it for a strike. He did show bunt.
Probably not something he's done a lot in his career. One time.
But the obvious key here for McMahon is reading the middle infielders and making sure that the wheel play's not on, and then secondarily bunt it to the third baseman, make the third baseman field it so he vacates the bag.
And I always found the easiest pitch to bunt was a breaking ball, because it's slower. You know, you're throwing 97, 98 with that sink to it, you're going to bunt it over the top of it, and you're probably going to foul it off. The breaking ball, that first one he had, was a really good one to do it, to push it towards third. He wants to get a breaking ball out over the plate, which will make it easier for him.
Not bunting. And he takes a strike.
Pretty good calculation by Aaron to anticipate that he was going to get a fastball there. He just wasn't able to pull the trigger.
Strike 3. Not a great at bat. And he's down looking.
And there's that sweeper you were talking about, Coney. Woo, it's pretty good.
Yes. Tight. It's a strike. It's right there.
So that'll bring up Grisham. 0 for 1, 2 walks. There's a ground ball, base hit through the left side. Goldschmidt's being sent home. The throw is cut off. It's an RBI single for Grisham, and the Yankees have pulled to within 1.
Just a really good job by Grisham to take this ball the other way that's out over the plate. And I was a little surprised they cut it because I thought there was a possible play at home. See, goalie, I mean, the left fielder gets to it really quick. Rojas waving, and he cuts it. He probably would have been safe, and Caballero, being aggressive, would have went to third base and the ball went through.
That ball was leaking oil, the throw. It was losing steam.
So here's Judge. Judge singled his last time up. Then the second baseman, Edwards, playing almost on the bag to check back Caballero, and then backpedals once the pitch is delivered.
And if you're Caballero, the one thing that you don't want to do is dance around, because sometimes that distracts the hitter. If you're going to go, go. There are a lot of hitters that don't like it, and it's usually the left-handed hitter, because he's kind of looking out that way towards short more than a right-handed hitter.
Starting with Judge's single, which came with 2 outs in the 5th, 7 of the 9 Yankees have reached base, and they've cut the lead from 4-0 to 4-3. Ground ball, fair, inside first and down the right field line. Caballero scores. Grisham will stop at third. It's an RBI single for Judge, and the Yankees have tied the game at 4.
Well, this inning all started with a good at-bat from Paul Goldschmidt, and that's not a hit that you see from Aaron Judge very often. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it if you're the first baseman, and he hits it down the right field line for an RBI single. And all of a sudden, you look up, Aaron Judge has got 7 RBIs in 8 games, and it happens fast for him.
Look at Grisham and Judge both. Ground balls the other way that you just didn't expect, but making contact, tying the game.
Marlins go to the bullpen again. Yankees have tied the score. Runners on first and third. Well, tomorrow afternoon on Yes, the Yankees and Marlins wrap up their 3-game set here at the stadium. Coverage begins with the FanDuel Yankees pregame at 1. Then first pitch will be shortly after 1:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. On the mound for the Yankees, Max Fried gets the start. He has yet to allow a run in its first 2 outings. John King, the second lefty in the bullpen, will come on for the Marlins to face Cody Bellinger. First and third, 1 man out.
You know, Michael, I find this interesting because over the last 3 years, Cody's been better against left-handers compared to right-handers. And then you see what he did last year, the best left-hander against left-handers. John King is a ground ball specialist.
Hit sharply, foul. Just eluded the diving Norby, but it's a foul ball.
Coming off the bag and oof. If it's fair, I think he catches it.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's an interesting move. Sometimes as a manager, you just don't believe that a lefty's better against the lefty.
Infield in. Fly ball left field. Tagging Grisham. Hernandez with the catch. Here's the throw. Here's the play. He's safe. He is in there, and the Yankees take a 5-4 lead. A sac fly by Bellinger. Let's see if the Marlins will challenge. They will not. The run scores, and the Yankees have taken the lead.
Good base running, good read. Luis Rojas is, yes, you're going, you're going. He's moving away from it. He was drifting a little bit, the left fielder, before he caught it. That was the difference. And also an excellent slide at the end. And yes, he did.
And just that little bit, the Ramirez reach for the ball allows him to be safe. I still think catchers, right? They talk about you have to give them a spot to slide. I still think you could put your foot on the third base line, but none of them do it because they're afraid they're going to get caught. And he gets away from the tag because he's too far in front of home plate.
And on the tag, Judge advanced to second, so he is in scoring position. Also, if you look at the slide by Grisham, a very awkward turn of the foot. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it looked like he could have been twisting it. But see right here.
Yes.
But he seems like he's okay.
That's the one rule I wish they would change. You know, we've had these rule changes. I think if you break the plane of the plate, you should be safe. Because to touch the base, I mean, I think it's dangerous with the spikes, you know, because it's not elevated like a second base or a third base. I think if you break the plane, you should be safe.
Just like the NFL, end zone.
Yeah. Now, if home plate was elevated, I wouldn't say that.
Two and two on Rice. Rice 0 for 2 with a walk. In on the hands, fouled away. It all started with a pinch hit walk by Goldschmidt.
It's MVP row right there.
Got to find Judge. Complete it.
Yeah. Get him in here, score him here, and put him right between them.
3 and 2. Yankees down 4-0. They've come all the way back to take a 5-4 lead. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Judge leads off second. Swing and a miss. Rice down on strikes. But the Yankees get the lead. A big hit the other way by Grisham. And then Judge takes one right down the first base line. The Yankees coming all the way back. And then this sac fly and this great slide by Grisham, and the Yankees are up by 1. Plate. As Goldschmidt pinch hit for Wells.
That Yankee outfield we just showed there had an impact on this game. That was offensively the most productive outfield in the big leagues by a long shot last year. And a lot of it, obviously, Aaron Judge and the numbers he put up. But Grisham and Bellinger, offensively?
Yeah, really good as well. 34 home runs from Grisham, 98 RBIs from Bellinger.
And they all play good defense as well. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking at arguably the best outfield in the big leagues. It certainly was last year. Got a chance to be again this year.
1-1 on Marcy as Hill's still in there. He got the final 2 outs of the 6th inning. So now it's going to be a study on how Boone deploys the bullpen to get the final 9 outs. Didn't use Bednar yesterday, so Bednar fully available today. Everybody in the bullpen, I believe, is good to go. Calvin Fauché is warming for the Marlins in their bullpen.
And I would think for the Marlins that you'll see Casey and Hicks start to loosen on they're in the didn't start today. The most productive hitters for the Marlins are both left-hander.
Left field, Bellinger's there. One down here in the 7th. So that's going to do it for Hill. And Boone's going to call on Cruz with Lopez and Hernandez due up. But as Joe said, McCullough has a lot of lefties on the bench to deploy. 8 outs to go for the Yankees. How will they get it? Boone starts with Cruz. Stay tuned. Well, help America's heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. Fernando Cruz. Almost 50% strikeouts last year with the splitter. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings so far this year.
I thought that was called that pitch, not the splitter.
We'll get to it. There's a strike. There's that pitch.
There it is.
Just the bottom falls out of it. When he's been exceptionally sharp with that pitch this year so far. He had an excellent road trip. Really been locked in.
Strike 3. Lopez down looking.
I almost thought he played the clock game there, Coney. He sat there and waited, and players don't like to stand in one position, whether you're a base runner or not, and then he drops that on him.
I agree. I think absolutely he was. He waited till there was 1 second left. You know, as a hitter, you almost have to wait till the 10-second part to step in and acknowledge the pitcher, not give him too much time.
Heriberto Hernandez pops it up. Chisholm will put it away. And the Marlins go down in order 1-2-3 against 2 Yankee pitchers. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead this one 5-4, but will stay right here as they honor America on the Saturday evening in the Bronx.
Sergeant First Class Matthew Sirianni of Massapequa Park, who has been serving in the Army since 2013. The Yankees say thank you, Matthew. Sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Yankees lead 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Max Meyer went 4 2/3. Hernandez, a 2-run triple. Ryan Weathers struggled 3 2/3 innings. And Cody Bellinger's had a big night. 1 for 2, a home run, a sac fly, and 3 runs batted in. Calvin Fauché takes over, and he will face Giancarlo Stanton to start the bottom of the 7th. Stanton walked his last time up, 0 for 2. Marlins about hit the Yankees, but the Yankees lead 5-4. Marlins have 9 hits, the Yankees with 5.
Again, the Yankees have taken advantage of free base runners. 7 total, 6 walks, a hit by pitch.
11 walks yesterday, 6 walks today. Three and 0. And a strike. Taken all the way, 3-1. Stanton, Chisholm, and a scar.
Interesting decision here for him. Do you pinch run for him to try to get that extra run with nobody out, or do you wait? Is it too early? Because he has a chance to hit in the 9th again.
Looks like they're going to keep him there and not go to the bench. Could have gone with Rosario or Grichuk. Those are the 2 that's left over. You've already used Goldschmidt and Escar.
I think you got it right, Skip. Save that at bat.
Up and away to Chisholm. Jazz is 0 for 3 tonight. Jazz got a hit when he wasn't playing. Last series against the Marlins, he hit a fly ball down the left field line, and Leo Rivas, the shortstop, came over, got to it, and then dropped the ball, and it was scored in E6. Rivas then appealed to the official score, said that shouldn't be an error, and they gave Chisholm a double.
I agree. I mean, I thought the same thing. He was playing way over. He had to run a long way, converging all 3 at once. That was not an easy play.
I was wondering where you were going with that when you said he got a hit and he wasn't even playing.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a gift from the baseball gods. No, Jazz does not like that call, but the Yankees are out of challenges.
This is one of the reasons why I like the challenge system, because every hitter thinks every pitch is a ball and every pitcher thinks that every pitch is a strike. They're both finding out. It's a great equalizer for everyone.
They are not holding Stanton. He takes off. The throw to second. How about that? They don't need any pinch runner, Joe. They were playing behind Stanton. He said, I'm going.
Really heads up play by Giancarlo Stanton. The guys on the bench are laughing, but like that's what happened. That's a smart baseball player. He sees that Fauché is not that quick, and I mean, I was surprised the other day when he took the extra base on the wild pitch. It didn't get too far away from his catcher. He's running well.
Pitch called the strike on Ascara. 0-1. His first at bat. Grounded to the shortstop. Lopez gets Ascara, moving to third as Stanton.
Joe, you talked about Giancarlo Stanton taking the extra base on the wild pitch in Seattle. I spoke to him in the clubhouse after the game, and he said he thought maybe that one got away a little bit further than he did. He wasn't quite sure that he was going to make it. He made it, so it was all good, but he did say afterwards, I need to be a little bit more sure next time I decide to do that.
It's Caballero 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Stanton is at third. Fauché deals a strike.
Oh,
and that gets away. Here comes Stanton. He scores, and the Yankees lead 6-4. So Stanton's wheels get the Yankees a run.
I mean, that's a lot harder than him hitting the home run. I know that. Steal second, go to third on a ground ball and score on a wild pitch. I mean, he's had his problems in the past. Ramirez talking about all the blocks against above average. He was minus 28 last year. The closest to that was Perez in Kansas City at minus 15.
and if you had Giancarlo Stanton with a stolen base this year at any time, then yes, then you should go to Vegas right now.
And that was scored a pass ball, and Caballero strikes out. So a stolen base, moved to third on a grounder, and here he comes with the Yankees' 6th run. Stanton carrying the load. Yankees up by 2.
Man, I stand corrected.
Giancarlo Stanton not being held, and with the beautiful sound of This Week in Baseball, he's using his wheels. He gets a stolen base. Oh, yeah. Then he moves to third on a ground ball, and here he comes in slow-mo, checking out if that throw is coming. You can hear Mel Allen go, how about that?
How about that?
Teammates love it. Camilo Doval comes on for the Yankees to pitch the 8th inning.
That's the great thing about our game, is we see things that we never expect to see.
Send that clip into the Emmy reel right there.
Yeah.
Liam Hicks pinch hits for Norby and rips one foul. Hicks has gotten off to a great start, as you can see. 3 home runs, 12 ribbies.
He's been really, really good against the breaking ball. Has struggled against fastballs this year. The Yankees did a good job yesterday against him. So that pitch was classified as a cutter, and I thought it went the other way.
It did. You know, Liam Hicks is from Toronto, Canada. You know, if you watch him from the left side, you almost see a little bit of Matt Stairs style-wise. Another really good left-handed Canadian hitter. Kind of similar leg kick. Matt Stairs could hit.
He found that swing one night late in his hotel room, and I think he had went out a little bit.
And that's past the diving Jazz into right field. Pinch hit single for Hicks. His hot start continues.
Yeah, and he continues to hit the ball hard, and he continues to pull the ball. That's something that he's done a lot more this year. And you see Jazz lay out. He almost gets there. If he's able to catch that ball, he's going to get Hicks out because it was hit so hard. Just out of his reach.
So here's Edwards. Though his first name is spelled like the college, Xavier, he asked that his name be pronounced Xavier. So it's Xavier Edwards. So 2-0 on Edwards with a runner on first. Edwards is the tying run. Yankees lead 6-4. They trailed 4-0 after 3.5.
Yeah, he's struggling right now to get ahead in the count. And then you can't get the chases that you want to get. Edwards a much better hitter from the left side.
Pinch hit by Hicks, the 10th hit for the Marlins. Three and two. Brent Hedrick is up for the Yankees in their pen. Another base hit. Judge cutting over will play it off the wall. Hicks is going to stop at third. It's a double for Edwards. And now the tying run's in scoring position for the Marlins. Second and third, nobody out.
Edwards since 2024 has hit .302, fifth in all of baseball. A lot of it comes from this side. It's a much better hitter, but he's had a hit and he's scored a run in 8 straight games.
And a slider right in his wheelhouse. Drills it.
And if you're a Scar and Duvall here, you have to think about give him one, don't give him two. I mean, that's what you have a 2-run lead. You can give him 1 run. Don't get in trouble and don't get behind and don't get passive because you're not trying to give up 1. Just keep the lead.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. We saw him yesterday. Michael Peterson warming again for the Marlins. So Matt Blake has a talk with Camilo Doval. Yankees will play the infield back except at third. They want to keep a ground ball from squeaking through for 2 runs. Pitch up and away. And Casey pinch hitting for Leo Jimenez. And a strike.
Dangerous hitter. 1 for 3 in this series with a home run. A lot of raw power.
One and two.
It almost looked like he's just trying to hit a ground ball to second base, get him over, get him in. He was leaking there.
Second and third. Nobody out. 1-2 count on the pinch hitter Casey. Yankees up by 2. 6-5-1 for the Yanks. 4-11-1 for Miami. Four lefty hitters on the bench at the start of the game for the Marlins. Now just Graham Pauley remains. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout on the slider. Casey goes down on strikes.
Big finish pitch right here. Down and in. The slider. Make sure you get it in there. He does. The old back leg slider. When you get it there, it's almost unhittable for lefties.
Here's Javier Sanoa. One and 0. Two and 0. Nice backhand grab there by Escara. You don't run on Bellinger or Judge. Run with caution against Grisham. Slow roller, and it's foul.
Sanoa listed as 5'7", 150. From Venezuela, but yeah, I mean that's a baseball player right there, right? I mean, 5'7", 150. You can do it in this game.
Ronald Torres was less than that.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Torres was about 142.
Grounded inside third and down the left field line. That'll tie the score. Bellinger fields will fire into second, and it is a big base hit for Sanoa, and the game is tied at 6.
Continues to be productive wherever you put him. This ball ends up down and in. It looks like it's a backup slider, and he's able to pull it down the line. If he gets it where he wants, I think he probably is a swing and a miss. But it backed up, and it happens at times, and it's frustrating. Now the Yankees are going to make a change.
They're going to go to Hedrick with Conine due up. So a tough performance for Doval. The game is tied at 6 here in the 8th. Well, Doval struggled, and he's not happy with himself. Missed the spot by a lot and got hurt. As Sanoa picks up the 2-run double and tie the game. So now he'll watch as Brent Hedrick comes on. And we'll try to keep that runner stranded. Go ahead, run at second, one man out. Conine takes inside. He pinch hit for Slater in the 6th, and he grounded out the 2nd.
He looked really good last night. Pitched an inning, a couple strikeouts.
9-1-2 coming up for the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th.
You know, that's the pitch right there that could take Hedrick to the next level. That slider. He's got a good splitter, off-speed pitch. He gets out righties very well, but that slider to lefties would serve him exceptionally well.
Fly ball. Grisham drifts back, makes the catch, tagging Sanoa. And he'll go to third, standing. The throw comes into Caballero, so a runner on third with 2 outs. And that brings up Ramirez.
You got to be careful here. Ramirez has had good at-bats all night. Marcy, who has struggled, is 1 for 4 tonight. He's hitting 115 coming into the game. To me, you have an open base, and I'm not saying you intentionally walking, but you can't let him beat you here.
One and 0. And they are going to intentionally walk him. And they'll take their chance lefty now against Marcy.
No matter what happens, I think it's the right move.
Absolutely.
Marcy struggled with fastballs in, and he struggled with breaking balls today. And he just has not looked like what he looked like last year.
Even though Hedrick gets out right-handers, at a high rate.
And Marcy hit left-handers better than he did right-handers last year. He hit 324. But I still think it's the right move.
Yeah, real-time information, right?
Yes.
One guy's struggling, one guy's swinging the bat well.
Sometimes you got to go with what your eyes are telling you.
One and 0. Sanoa the go-ahead run at third. Ramirez at first, 2 men out. Marcy 1 for 4 tonight. High drive into right center. Cutting over is Grisham, and he puts it away for the final out. So Hedrick comes on and does the job. But the Marlins tie the score. Well, fans, after the final out, get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. It's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. So a seesaw battle, 4-0 Marlins, and the Yankees take a 6-4 lead. The Marlins tied up with 2 in the 8th. Hyundai scoreboard at 6-6, bottom of the 8th inning. Liam Hicks takes over at first base. Michael Peterson takes over on the mound. Each manager coming close to using the full 26 men on the roster. All their relief pitchers, they're emptying the boat out there, and the bench as well.
Got a fly ball pitcher here, Coney, and a couple left-handed hitters.
Pitched the 7th inning yesterday, allowed a home run to Ben Rice. 2-1. Yankee closer David Bednar warming up. Game tied after 8 innings. There's no safe situation after that, so you use your guy in the 9th. Same situation on the road. They didn't use him because there is a safe situation in extra innings. So At home, you use them in the ninth. You use your best right away. They'd love it to be a save situation. Three and 2 on McMahon. McMahon's 0 for 3 tonight. 1 for 20 on the season. Grisham on deck. And then he works a walk. Big walk for McMahon. Another nice night for Grisham. 1 for 2, RBI single, 2 walks. And a great slide to score a run on a sac fly by Bellinger.
I like how he taps it with the ball.
Pitcher's called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
Boy, he's been spot on tonight. I mean, less than an inch every time.
Does it
Pitch is
again.
a strike.
Team
Miami has
MLB
2
challenge.
challenges remaining.
We all thought that this, a challenge system would hurt catchers and framing. Actually, no, it's enhanced catching. Give them a new skill set to use.
Oh, 2. Ramirez 4 for 4 in ABS challenges tonight.
And they've all pretty much been borderline pitches. I mean, truly borderline pitches.
One and 2 on Grisham. Grisham has a really good eye. 3 walks yesterday, 2 walks today. Judge on deck, talking things over with Bellinger.
See him looking over to the coach to see what pitch is called.
High fly ball. Marcy back. He makes the play. Tagging is McMahon. Just draws the throw. So here's the captain. Aaron Judge 2 for 4. Couple singles. A ribby and a run scored.
You know what's amazing to me is you looked at his stats there, and his numbers are obviously starting to rise. And you see an 810 OPS. You say this guy's having a good year. But for Judge, you're thinking about 200 points short. But that's how good he is.
Two 2-0 on Judge.
It's like Ben Rice, if you look at the scoreboard, went and stole his OPS. Aaron Judge is Ben Rice is at 1227.
That one just missed low. Good take by Judge, 3-0, and no challenge by Ramirez. And there's ball 4. So that moves McMahon the go-ahead run into scoring position. First and second, one man out for Bellinger.
That was one of those intentional walks. You're going to have to chase.
Yes.
That's the only thing you're going to get.
Good night for Bellinger. His 2-run home run got the Yankees on the board, turned 4-0 into 4-2.
Look for Bellinger to be very aggressive first pitch. Anything in the zone, especially middle in.
Well, the home run that he hit in the 5th inning, we'll take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum. 105.5 off the bat, traveled 394 feet. Almost hit him, jackknifed out of the way, 1-1. Driven deep to right field, but not enough. Conine there, kind of hung up there. Just a long second out.
You know, it sounded like he broke his bat on that. It's maybe got it off just a little bit off the end. Man, he had a good swing too. Yeah, you can hear it there. There's just that little bit of run at the end, and he knows.
Yeah, Peterson got it away from him just enough.
Yeah.
And with Rice due up, another trip to the mound by Moskos.
What do you tell him here? Whatever you did yesterday, don't do it today. Aren't you calling the pitches? Or the guy next to you is calling the pitches?
Yeah.
He doesn't actually call the pitches. Their assistant pitching coach does.
A little reminder of the scouting report, possibly, but
A home run yesterday after he had just hit one foul. Oh, man, that was loud going. And the question was, did it have enough height to get out of here? He hit it so hard, and he got on top of it a little bit. Boy, that ball got out quick.
A big spot right here. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. And the 3, all strikeouts. He had 3 strikeouts yesterday.
The interesting thing about the meeting, though, is you're calling the pitches, so you're going to say, okay, fastball up, fastball in, fastball away. You're telling him where to throw the ball. So why do you need to go over the scouting report?
maybe make sure that you're executing whatever they call for you in the right location.
As Jason Beret once told me, I don't have a Nintendo controller in my pocket.
Yes.
2-0 on Rice. 6-6 game, bottom of the 8th inning. Three and 0. Stanton's on deck. Peterson deals. Ball 4, bases are loaded. 3 walks to the Yankees in the inning.
Think about that, Coney. That's how far Ben Rice has come in a couple of years. The meeting was for him. It wasn't for Bellinger. It wasn't for Stanton. And I'm not taking anything away from those two guys because they're extremely dangerous. And this is a dangerous situation. But that's how they feel about Rice.
I agree. That's how good he's been and what a presence he is now in the lineup.
Second straight game, the Yankees have worked 11 walks. Stanton has 2 of them. Swings through the change. Stanton got him with his speed in the 7th. 1-1. 2 straight changeups. First time since June of 1997. Also at the Marlins that the Yankees have had 10 or more walks in back-to-back games. One and two. Count levels at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. 6-6 game.
No, it almost looks like the catcher gets crossed up, but again, a right-hander changeup, you're expecting it to go in to Stanton, not away. So you're kind of anticipating you're pushing to your left if you're the catcher, not to your right.
All the way, they'll do it again. Now biting time. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-6. Another foul ball. Ground ball and through for a base hit. McMahon scores. Here comes Judge. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for Stanton. He beat him with his feet, and then he beats him with the bat. 8-6 Yanks.
I love that call, Michael. He beat him with his feet, then he beat him with his bat. And he hits the hardest ground balls I have ever seen. This ball just gets through the infield, and he even gets jammed a little bit. But he's actually leaning. He's thinking that he's going to have to beat it out at first. And Lopez didn't get his glove down. I think it skidded on him, and he thought he had a chance for it, but it was by him. And that's a big hit. You see the reaction from his teammates. Peterson's like, oh, my God, I thought I had him out.
Yeah, that ball stayed down. That ball stayed down on the shortstop.
Turn him loose.
And that's off the glove of Ramirez. Rice will score, and the Yankees lead 9-6.
Now it looks like they're going to run for Stanton now that there's 2 outs. You're hoping he doesn't have to hit again in this game, and you're going to try to get one more run if you got a chance.
Have a backup breaking ball. A little slider supposed to break one way. It went the other way. It got crossed up. Or double crossed, rather. Off the glove and another run in.
That's the hardest pitch to catch is a backup breaking ball, because you're anticipating it going one way and it goes the other. I used to get so mad when they give me a pass ball. I'm like, pass ball? That's a wild pitch.
Grichuk pinch runs, and that's lofted to the left side. Sano in foul territory will make the play, and that'll do it. But the Yankees put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the 8th. They lead 9-6 as we go to the 9th.
To Giancarlo Stanton. Starts him off with a changeup. He's able to swing through it. Throws him one that's up in the zone. We got a 1-1 count. He's going to come up with his slider that's really good. Got good bite. Then he throws him another changeup. It's 2-2. Fouls off this fastball. He had a pitch to hit. Fouls off another one. Throws him another changeup. It runs in, but not enough. And he's able to get it by Lopez. And the Yankees take the lead 8-6 at that point. Score another one. A really good night for Giancarlo. Again, base running, hitting, just doing it all.
Yankees up by 3. Bednar comes on to try to close it out. He'll face Lopez. Bednar had an adventure, a 40-pitch adventure on Wednesday in Seattle against the Mariners, but ended up closing it out. 2-0. On Lopez. Lopez tonight is 0 for 3. He singled and he scored. Check that. He's 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. So the single came in the first and 0 for 3 since then. Gets the call on that one. 2-2. Ground ball, Jazz Chisholm right there. Takes his time, and you know what? Took too much time. Lopez beat it out. Gathered, thought about it, fired to first, and Lopez gets an infield single.
Just beats the throw. Yeah. I mean, that's an out that the Yankees have to have. I mean, this is a routine out. It looked like he fumbled the ball a little bit when he went to get it the first time. You can see Lopez is frustrated. He thinks he's out, and then he ends up beating it out. But I think Jazz fumbled it when he went into his glove to get the ball.
Yeah, he got caught flat-footed.
On Heriberto Hernandez. Slow roller. McMahon's been throwing many in the dirt, and his first baseman have helped him out, both Rice and Goldschmidt. They get the out there as Lopez moves to second.
And he has to charge this ball hard. Makes a good transfer, gets it where he wants to. And ends up throwing it low. A really good scoop. You get the short hop, which is a lot easier. But as much as you say it's sometimes it's hard not to take your at-bats to the field. It's just hard. I don't care who you are.
Here's Liam Hicks. Hicks pinch hit in the 8th inning and single. Off to a great start.
Bednar's been outstanding, but you've gotten yourself with a 3-run lead, a runner on second, but you're getting to the dangerous part of the lineup. The guys that have really hit so far for them this year. Hicks, Edwards, Casey.
Dropped a curveball in for a strike. Bednar is one of those closers that has starter stuff. He's got a full array of pitches. Usually closers have that one big pitch they can get outs on. He's got about 3.
Well, he could drop that curveball over when he needs strikes. That's an equalizer for him.
And he doesn't have to show his split or his fastball. So he's got different ways to get you out. I love it.
The big batter right here. He gets on. All of a sudden the tying run comes to the plate. Now, I know there was a little bit of a delay because Ronald Culpa having to lead the game, but this is a pre-pitch clock game. We're closing in on 3:45.
11 walks don't help.
Yeah. The Yankees don't have challenges, so that is called a ball and a walk to Liam Hicks.
And that's where you'd love to have your challenge. We'll get another look at this, and it's actually up.
It was up.
Yeah. Short catcher. Hitting. You know, it's interesting. You know, you're seeing a Scar go in front of home plate, giving the sign for where he's throwing, either the third or second. Used to have signs. Now they bend over and touch their knee.
So here's Edwards. 2 for 3 with a walk tonight. Yesterday, he connected for a home run.
Yeah, his first of the year. He only hit 3 last year. He looks a little bigger and stronger to me this year, and it's a no doubter. And again, it comes left-handed. He's such a better hitter left-handed. He's dangerous.
Yeah, hits 320 against righties and 257 against lefties. One and one. Yankees have used 7 pitchers, and the Marlins 6. 9-6 Yankees lead. We're in the 9th. First and second. 1 man out.
He is just missing with some of his splitters. And Ron Culpa, who was a pitcher's umpire, you got a guy that's a hitter's umpire, and you have no challenges left. They have some, but the Yankees don't.
That was challenged. If you could challenge, it would have been changed. Marlins have their closer up just in case, Pete Fairbanks.
He seems to just like the Florida teams.
Longtime Ray. Two. Ground ball and through for a base hit. Lopez scores. Bellinger flips the ball in. It's a single for Edwards and an RBI, and it's 9-7 Yankees.
Contact pays again. We talked about it. The common theme with the Marlins is they put the ball in play, and you can see he's fooled. He's out in front, but hits it in the right spot. Keeps the line moving for the Marlins.
And a trip to the mound. And it all started with that infield single where Jazz was flat-footed and took time to gather, and Lopez beat it out.
Yeah, I like Caballero kind of tapping Jazz on the back. Basically tell him, turn the page. You know, make a play now. Make a play. Doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it. Make a play now.
And here's a dangerous Owen Casey. Pinch hit in the 8th inning and struck out. Last 2 appearances, 40 on Wednesday, and now he's thrown 19 so far tonight.
He could ball strike. He could use a nice little 4-6-3 here.
His best chance to get the ball on the ground is with his splitter. Now that he's ahead, he could utilize it.
0-2.
You know, he takes some interesting swings where he's kind of coming out of the box, but he's able to keep his head down, right? He's actually out in front of it, and he's kind of falling backwards.
One and two.
Setting him up for that low split, Coney?
I would go that route. I would stay away from that down and in curveball to this guy in this spot, unless you're bouncing it.
He has hit a walk-off homer on a changeup this year. So you got to make sure you get it below the zone.
2-2. Sanoa, no joke. He's on deck. Got that big 2-run double in the 8th inning. That tied the game at 6. Strike 3. And Casey is going to challenge.
The batter is challenging the strike call.
T-Mobile ABS challenge. And he's right. It's overturned.
It is a ball.
Really
Primary change their challenges.
So now it's a full count. Challenge system has not been the Yankee friend tonight. Swing and a miss. The more conventional strikeout. You can't challenge that.
That's the pitch that I like at this spot. Down and away and soft. You can't hook that out of the park when you get it down there. Great execution.
You can see his hips kind of going towards the first base dugout, and that's why he runs out of bat. He's going to have to learn to stay in it and drive that ball to left center. See McMahon playing very deep. Nothing can get by him on that on his right side. He's already has one double down there, and they're telling him to maybe come in a little bit just in case he bunts.
And there's a history between these two. Bednar's Yankee debut August 1st in Miami. He gave up a tying home run to Sanoa. And you know he knows that, and Sanoa knows it. Foul back. Kind of a cold mist here at the stadium.
Looks lovely out there.
It's turned into a really raw night.
It was 70 degrees today in Central Park.
One and two. Spoiled that one. Crowd of 44,150. Looking for the final out. 1-2. Ground ball through for a base hit. Hicks will be held at third, and the bases are loaded for the Marlins.
Yeah, he's had some good at-bats these last two, a double. And this one, it's a fastball. He didn't get it high enough. He had a hard time getting on top of the ones that were a little bit above that. But he gets on top of this one and pulls it through the hole. Now they have the bases loaded with Griffin Conine up.
And once again, a big workload for Bednar as he tries to close this out. Got the curveball in there for a strike to start it off.
It's almost like it's a free strike for him if he's able to land it.
I agree, especially to a left-handed batter.
Yankees are a strike away.
And the way it really helps him is he doesn't have to show him the splitter yet, and he can get ahead. And now he can expand with it if he wants. He can go up with his fastball.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed. The Yankees hold on. A wild one here in the Bronx as the Yankees take it 9-7.
Oh, nice comeback for the Yankees. It looked like a night when this game might get away from them, but no, they came back and snatched it. Bellinger got it going. Giancarlo Stanton on the base pass of all things, and then Bednar at the end, another splitter down, swung right over the top of.
Well, once again, they take advantage of a lot of walks by the Marlins pitchers and some timely hitting. And Bednar closes it out and overcomes a ball that should have been an out. And he picks up his teammate, and they move on.
And the Yankees now 7-1. And they get a chance to celebrate. The night doesn't seem as long and as cold if you end up with a win.
Yeah, and big crowd tonight that hung in here till the end. They deserve to see that, and they were happy to see the Yankees come back and close it out.
Well, it's good to see the Yankees scoring runs, too. I mean, that's what they do. They usually pound the baseball. And, again, they just played a very good game where they came from behind.
Trailing 4-0, they win 9-7. Take the first two of this series. We'll be back.